Hey beauties, this is the hair I'll be using today to feed in. This is the curly hair MilkyWay bulk in this style water bulk 22-inch 1B, and this is the braiding hair. It's the expressions hair that is pre-stretched and 58 inches. Right now, before I start, I do separate my hair out on this, whatever this tray is. I do my braiding hair on one side and my curly hair on the other side. When doing this style, I knew I didn't want my hair to be too thick, so I did try to pull thinner strands because this hair is curly and I don't want it to be bushy. So I just separate thinner strands of the curly hair onto the divider, hair divider. That's what we're gonna call it. So the next part is me sectioning off my hair into sections. I section the back off this way. This helps me just stay organized, and it honestly makes me feel like the process goes faster. So I highly recommend sectioning off your hair before you start. Right now I'm just combing out my hair, and I'm going to attempt to show you guys how I do, how I braid it down. So I start off with the knotless method. So starting off with my own hair, braiding my own hair before I feed in about 3 to 4 pieces of braiding hair, which you'll see me do in a second. And from there, I'll take the curly hair from Q and start feeding that in as well. Here's where I'm adding in the curly hair. I start with the straight end of the curly hair. Once you take it out the pack, where the weft is straight and the rest of the hair is curly. So that's the end I start with. I feed that in like a regular braid and pull the remaining ends of the curly hair away, you know, towards the front. So while I'm braiding down, I don't mistakenly braid it. So here's where hopefully I can show you a little bit better. I'm feeding this in, wrapping it over, holding it in my mouth when it gets to the front part because it's kind of hard to keep it away on this section. And then I just start to braid down. Now I'm just showing how I sectioned off the front. So I did these sections so I could tell where I'm braiding and where I'm plaiting. Again, sectioning just helped me stay organized, honestly, y'all. And here is the weft I was talking about, that straight. I just wanted to make sure I got a shot of this, of how I separate it. You just pull it right from the weft. After I was done with the plait section, it was time to move to braids. The next section was braids. Now, I am not the best braider, but I would start with a little bit of hair because I just, like I said, I'm not the best braider, and especially the thinner parts of my hair, I'm like, I don't want to braid it too tight. So I start with a little bit of braid, a little bit of braiding hair, and then I just feed in on the sides. And for these side braids, I would do about 3 pieces of braiding hair feeding it in. So I didn't want to make it too thick, but I wanted to make sure that it was even with the rest of my hair. For my actual cornrow braids, I didn't start to add in the curly hair until I got to, you know, the braid down part. And so this is a better way to show how I start adding those in. The straighter part, again, the straight part is the end is where I start, and then I just hold the rest of the curly hair in my mouth so that I have some leverage as I begin to braid down. So for the plaits that were closer towards the center of my head, right here, this plait section, I did start with the curly hair as well. So this is just me showing you that I started with curly hair and I just left a piece out just because I wanted to make sure that I had that visibility towards the top to frame my face. So for the plaits that were to the back and the side of my head, I didn't start with the curly hair when I started the plait or the braid, but for the plaits up here I did. Now we are braiding again. So this is the final section, the top of my head. I didn't really have a plan, to be quite honest. I just was like, okay, let's just braid her down and try to make the parts as even as possible and as straight as possible. That's another thing I'm working on, is my parting and getting it to be very neat. But here's me just parting the hair off. I believe I did 6 braids in total up here. I would just say take your time, go with what you feel like works for you. I really was like not going to try and be too prescribed about it, since this is a new style that I'm trying for the first time. So I saw, you know, a couple of examples that I liked, so I just kind of mixed it all together based on what I think I'm able to do, and it came out pretty cute. So with these braids in the front, unlike the ones that were on the side, I started with my own hair and then fed in because I didn't want it to be too bulky to the front of my head, and I wanted to try and practice this method instead, because really the success of these cornrow braids depend on the size of the feed-ins and you getting that right and it being consistent. So I really just wanted to practice that and just do it that way because it's the front of my head. So, and it did turn out nice. At least to me it did. I wanted to make sure that I called out that I do feed in the curly hair, not just at the top when I'm done with my braid, my cornrow braid, but I also add hair halfway down and then a third of the way down. And I also did this with my plaits and my other braids as well. I would add the feed in the curly hair at the top, again halfway down, and again a third of the way down. But again, I tried to make sure that I only, you know, that it wasn't too thick, that it was so that it wouldn't get too bushy. And I believe the curly hair that I have was it was a human hair mix, so I just was like, I'm not gonna take the chance and it be tangling up on me too early on in the while I have this style in. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep it thin and light because it's hot outside and I don't have time for that. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful to y'all so far, and let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions or follow-ups with me. I'm happy to answer any for that. I know I got some in my last video when I did braids, especially these type of boho style braids, but all in all, I felt like the process was actually not that hard, so I'm glad I gave it a try, and I'm practicing cornrows and I'm getting a little better at it. Yeah, and I've been wanting to try this style for the longest. I really cannot wait for y'all to see the end product. And really get y'all thoughts too in the comment section now, if you like it or if you don't. But yeah, the process wasn't that bad. All right, beauties, here is the final look with my edges laid. Oh my gosh, hair is tight but fabulous, fabulous. 10 10 10s across the board. I'm so happy with it. This was like, I didn't even watch any videos. Oh, it's kind of hard to flip, I ain't gonna lie right now. It's kind of hard to flip because it's so tight right now, but you know, she gets there. I think I really do like it to the side, to be quite honest with you. I've always been a side part kind of girl though, so that makes, no, never mind. But I hope you guys like this look. I really enjoyed the process this time around, feeding in the hair versus doing it the other way. I didn't use a ton of hair, as you can see, because I don't like my stuff to be bushy. And I did dip the ends, as you can see. I did dip the ends, but just so, I hope y'all can see what I'm talking about. But just so you can see the hair, I put on the white shirt, so hopefully it makes it, I don't know, a little bit easier for y'all to see. But that is it, girly. I love the hair. It's so versatile. You can flip it to one side or flip it to the other side or do what you want with it. It's so cute for the summer. I'm so glad somebody thought of it. And honestly, when I saw it, I knew I was gonna try it, and I'm glad I did. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to help inspire someone to go ahead and try it if you haven't tried it yet. For us braid girlies who braid our own hair, give it a try, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, my name is Kaya, and I hope to see you in the next video.